back here on 13 Folds Radio on RIFreeradio.org. That was What Went Down by Foals. And it is frankly a song I hope to never have to endure again.
Oh, really?
No,
Really?
I don't know. You know, it was all right. I was just fucking around.
Come on.
I'm not going to get all worked up over
They were
that.
going to sponsor us, that band.
Dude, didn't you say they're going to be coming in live next week in studio?
Not now.
Not anymore?
No.
Oh, well, I fucked it up again, didn't I?
Speaking of fuck-ups, hear what North Korea's been up to, right?
No, come on. You got a North Korea update for me?
Oh, yeah, North Korea.
I get excited.
Oh, I mean, it's been our arch nemesis since we started the show.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth since before. Who's the new guy? Kim Jong-un?
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, we've been feuding with them since it was Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
The illest dictator there was.
So, and you know, they're trying to test a long-range rocket now. They have the ability for short-range nuclear weapons. This is going to give our biggest enemy the ability to strike at any time.
So they say.
So, but it doesn't end there.
They got something even more insidious?
Yes, they have been in a dispute with South Korea.
Really?
They've kind of kept it under the...
Do tell.
Nobody's heard about this dispute. And I guess they have a little border war that they have where they've been for decades sending propaganda back and forth. And North Korea has sunk to a new low because in their balloons, where they usually have propaganda pamphlets calling, you know...
Like helium balloons? Like Spy versus Spy?
Yes, and they pop the balloons, and it dumps propaganda on the unsuspecting citizens who are forced to read that Miss Park is a filthy president. Their new ambition has been to send trash. Cigarette butts. They're putting cigarette butts. They're putting used toilet paper in the balloons.
That is awesome, dude.
So North Korea is basically shitting on
You know what they should call it? You know what they should call it?
What?
Poopaganda. You like that?
What you did
You
there.
heard it here first, folks.
So all you 6-year-olds out there.
Dude, I'll say this for North Korea, man. They may not have class, but they've got panache. And that's worth something on the world stage.
Now, speaking of the world stage... we were talking about Bill Cosby earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't know how closely you've followed the trial. I haven't followed it too closely, but I keep up on the headlines because honestly, I've been a firm believer of until they have proof, he's still innocent until proven guilty. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be the way that it works. But with social media and everything else, it's kind of
even
difficult.
old media.
It's just basic news, newspaper. You know, as long as there's some kind of attention drawn, every public opinion's going to come out, and everybody's really already just given up on Bill. He's guilty right off the bat. Yeah.
Well, and rape accusations, I think, are most insidious in that regard. You know, as far as being accused it's the same as being, you know, found guilty.
Yeah, because. Well. See, here's the thing: is I guess there was a prior court case that went on in Pennsylvania, where they wouldn't allow Bill Cosby to give a deposition.
This was at like Temple University or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's other aspects of the trial. I mean, what, like 40 women or something like that have come out to say that he raped them. Now, they've already proved a couple of them because there's alibis that are solid alibis that he has. It couldn't have happened when they said it does. And then there's other circumstances where they've said there's insufficient evidence to even try to prosecute.
Right,
those.
which doesn't mean it did or didn't happen one way or the other. It just means it's not enough evidence to prove anything.
You know, but I've always found it hard to believe that if it happened, they would have waited this long. It almost seems like for it to have happened all of a sudden, all at once.
It's a snowball effect.
It's why didn't it happen? So why didn't anybody speak out about it? You know, why wasn't it talked about earlier?
Right. I mean, it's hard for me to speak to that. It's hard for me to speak to the psychology of rape victims in particular. I feel like that's such a psychologically scarring that for various reasons, especially someone as at one time universally beloved and rich and potentially powerful as Bill Cosby, I could see why a woman might say, well, let me put it to you. If you were raped, would you come out with it? Wouldn't you feel a certain amount of shame or guilt or dirtiness or embarrassment?
Yeah, but I mean, if I was raped by Donald Trump, I'd be coming out tomorrow saying, "Hey, Donald Trump raped me,"
Right.
because he's got.
But if it was Bernie Sanders, you'd be like it was consensual.
Well, of course it would be. The man's a beautiful man,
He's a paramour.
beautiful Hebrew man. I mean, I think when you're looking at a celebrity, most people would have came out with it right after it happened because there is that, hey, what can I get paid off of this?
Right, right.
You know, I can't see anybody not coming out sooner if that was the case. I've seen emails, which I don't know the validity of them, where women have said that men have approached them and claimed to or offered to give them $10,000 to hang out with Bill Cosby and to take photos, being seductive,
Being raped by him.
and so they refuse to do it. So I don't know. It makes me question. It's like I said. Nobody's done anything but show accusations. There's been no proof that I've seen. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to just condemn this guy, without actual proof. And I think that's the way the justice system was intended to be.
Oh, no, it is intended to be, and he will have his day in court. I mean, that's what's. So you said there was an update. What's going on right now with this case?
Well, I guess his defense tried to throw it all out of court, saying that because of the prior court case where they threw it out and said this, there wasn't enough evidence, and that he would never have to be depositioned. I guess it was an oral agreement between the judge and Bill's lawyers. So they took it in front of the new judge, and the new judge actually denied the request. So
he's like, gentlemen's agreement have no place in my court.
And I see what they're saying. I mean, it's got to be something like that should have been written down, made in writing.
Yeah.
So he will still have to give his deposition.
But you said he gave a statement this week.
Well, he was just kind of, you know what? Let me.
Or this was outside the courthouse, right?
I got it queued up.
Okay, so this was outside the courthouse. He's
defense.
coming out with his lawyers, and a microphone gets stuck in his face, and this is what he had to say.
Stood up in the stirrups. Grabbed my bottom lip.
Boy, the reporters were really yucking it up. Huh? He can still work a crowd. I don't care.
And said, "I want morphine."
Okay, so it was.
It sounds to me like it's kind of consensual.
Well, at the very least, the sex might not have been, but the drug doing definitely sounds like it was consensual, if Bill is to be believed.
And that I believe him.
Look,
I need proof.
I mean, three sides to every story,
So, why we're on court trials?
Yeah.
We had Martin
Shkreli. Yeah, the AIDS pill bandit. That's what I'm calling.
That's what you call him.
That's what I'm trying to get that one to stick. Well, so yeah, he was on Capitol Hill this week, right, down in Washington.
Yes.
And what was it? It was essentially like a hearing, being like, people are saying you're a douchebag. Is that true?
No. They wanted to ask him. Questions from Congress about drug pricing and stuff like. How about I got a sound clip from this?
Okay.
And let's listen to it. And it pretty much gives you a good idea of what we got there.
We've been waiting for Shkreli to make a statement. If he does, here he is. Let's take a listen.
On the advice of counsel, I will not be giving an opening statement.
Oh.
I want to ask you a few questions. What do you say to that single pregnant woman who might have AIDS, no income, and she needs Daraprim in order to survive? What do you say to her when she has to make that choice? What do you say to her?
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
So he had enlightening. Honestly, I mean, after hearing him put it that way, how can you not see his side?
That was basically the entire hearing. 10 minutes of him repeating
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Did you?
That was the entire.
That was
hearing.
the next question.
That was the entire hearing. And it did. It went on. I mean, they even asked him about the Wu-Tang CD that Wu-Tang only made one copy of, and he purchased
And he bought it.
And he pleaded the fifth.
Well, I would too with the RIAA going after people.
So, yeah, this guy's a douchebag. But when you talk about it, you need to look at it, and this is I'm not siding with the guy. Let me say that, because I don't want to be
You don't want to be the guy jumping in bed.
But as a CEO of a major corporation, it is his duty to all the shareholders to make as much money as possible.
Not just his duty. This isn't just a theory or an informal belief. It's the law.
He's obligated.
He's obligated legally, right or wrong. And I happen to think that there maybe needs to be some limitation there, or that other factors need to be weighed in. But yes, a publicly traded corporation has one responsibility, and that is to remain as optimally profitable as possible to its shareholders.
Now, and you can't just single them out. And I think this is why they had the hearing, because they wanted him to talk about, I think because he's kind of the big guy on the block right now. He's getting all the publicity. They wanted him to answer some questions about what the industry is like.
Right.
Because his company isn't the only one doing this.
Every company that's
Horizon,
publicly
they're all
traded,
there.
100% of companies that are publicly traded fall under this same guideline. It's the reason why jobs get shipped to China. It's the reason why chemicals get dumped into rivers, because it's more profitable. Now, you can say that, well, government needs to step in and make some laws or make some changes, and maybe they do, but I'm going to go back to what I always say. And what I always say is, no, the people of this country need to exercise our power, just like we need to coalesce our power against our government and let them know that we're still in charge of this country. We need to coalesce our power, our buying power, against these businesses and say, hey, we don't like that you're shipping jobs to China, so we can't control. Someone might need this guy's AIDS pill, but his company probably also owns some conglomerate that makes shampoo, and they say, we're not going to buy your shampoo, we're not going to buy your soap, we're not going to buy your makeup products at all until you make a change here. And that way, you don't need government. We don't need government making more laws. A free market can work. Do the people have the backbone to stand up